Hello, in this Java tutorial we're going to learn how to check equality of different data types. We'll discuss the different methods and what happens behind the scenes when you use each comparison method with different data. Before watching this video, you're going to want to have a general understanding of how Java stores data in memory. For more information on that topic, please click on the link in the upper right-hand corner of this screen. Some key facts to know. Primitive data types can be compared using double equals. For example, if we've got two primitive variables, we can say A double equals B, and that Boolean expression will return either true or false. Using double equals to compare two reference, also known as object type variables, will only check if they are pointing at the same object, not whether if those two objects have equal values. Also, reference, object type variables, can be compared using the equals method. For example, A.equals B. For some classes, this will check if they are pointing at the same object, much like using double equals. In other classes, it will check if they are pointing at equivalent objects, and we'll discuss that more later. Let's start by reviewing the 8 primitive data types in Java: Boolean, char, byte, short, int, long, float, and double. To learn more about primitive data types in Java, please click on the link in the upper right-hand corner of the screen. We're going to have some examples in the next part about how to compare values of these data types. So let's write some code. First, we'll declare an int a set it equal to 3, int b equals 3, double c equals 3.0, double d equals 3.0, and then boolean e equals false. We'll execute this code and we'll see for primitive type variables all data ends up on the stack. Now let's take a look at some Boolean expressions. We'll start out with a double equals b. This will evaluate to true because the value of a on the stack is the same as the value of b on the stack. Next, we'll look at this Boolean expression, a is not equal to b, which is false because a is in fact equal to b. Next, let's take a look at this expression, c is equal to 3.0, so the value of c on the stack is 3.0, so this is true. Here we're comparing a to d. Now we see a and d are different data types. A is an int, d is a double. However, for this comparison, it will convert a to the double 3.0, and 3.0 is equal to 3.0, so this will evaluate to true. Finally, we have the expression c is equal to e. So we're comparing 3.0 to the Boolean value false. This is going to generate an error because there's no way for the compiler to compare a numerical value to a Boolean value. Now let's move on and talk about comparing objects. We can use double equals to compare two reference object type variables, but this will only tell us if the two variables are pointing at the same object, which is generally not what we want to know. We can also compare two reference object type variables using the equals method. For example, A.equals B. For some classes, the equals method is a shallow comparison. It only checks if the two variables are pointing at the same object, so it works similar to double equals. For other classes, the equals method is a deep comparison, meaning it checks if the data in the two objects are the same. So it's important to know, depending on the object type you are dealing with, is the equals method a deep comparison or is it a shallow comparison? We're going to start by using ArrayList to do some comparisons. To learn more about ArrayList, please click on the link in the upper right-hand corner of the screen. We'll start by declaring an ArrayList, initializing the variable, then adding a couple of values to the ArrayList. So we have our reference variable ABC on the stack, and it's pointing to the ArrayList object on the heap. Next, we're going to declare another ArrayList variable and copy the pointer from the ABC variable. So here we go. So we can see the reference variable ABC and the reference variable DEF are both pointing at the same object on the heap. Now we're going to declare a new reference variable of type ArrayList, GHI. We'll initialize it with the new ArrayList, and then we'll add the same three objects. So here we can see GHI is pointing at an identical object of DEF and ABC, However, the two objects are in different memory locations on the heap. Now let's examine some different ways to compare the values. We're checking ABC == DEF. So ABC and DEF are pointing at the same object on the heap, so this expression is going to evaluate to true. Here we're saying ABC == GHI. Now, ABC and GHI are pointing at identical objects, however, they're in different memory locations on the heap, so this will evaluate to false. For this reason, == is usually not a good way to compare objects in Java. Now let's look at using the equals method. For ArrayList, equals is a deep comparison, meaning it's going to check the contents of the object, not just where they are in memory. So let's look at this one, ABC = DEF. Well, ABC and DEF are pointing at identical array lists, so this will return true. Now ABC = GHI. Well, the array list that ABC is pointing at is identical to the array list that GHI is pointing at, so this will also return true. Now let's learn about doing comparisons with arrays. For more information on how arrays work, please click on the link in the upper right-hand corner of this screen. Let's take a look at this code. So here we're declaring a reference variable of array type A and having it point at a new array object. Then we're declaring the variable B and we're copying the pointer from A. Then we're declaring the variable C and having it point at a new object in memory. We'll take a look at it here. So A and B are pointing at the exact same object. C is pointing at an identical object in a different memory location. Now let's look at some Boolean expressions. We see A == B. Now arrays are objects, so this is going to check, are they pointing at the same object? So A and B are pointing at the same object, so this will evaluate to true. Now we're saying A == C. A and C are pointing at identical objects, but they're not in the same memory location, so it's going to evaluate to false. Now let's look at using the equals method. With arrays, the equals method is a shallow comparison, so it's also going to check, are these variables pointing at the same object? So A = B, they are pointing at the same object, so this will evaluate to true. And then A = C, the objects are identical, but they're not the same object in memory, so this will evaluate to false. So now we're going to look, how can you accurately compare the contents of the object with two arrays in Java? The first thing we have to do is, before we declare the class, we have to say import java.util.arrays. Then, when we're ready to compare, we say arrays with a capital A, .equals, and we have two arguments, which are going to be the variables for the two arrays we want to compare. So this is actually going to check the contents of the array. So A and B, of course, the arrays are the same contents, so this will return true. Here, we're comparing A and C, and A and C are pointing at identical arrays, so arrays.equals A, C will also return true. Lastly, we're going to look at comparing strings. For more information on strings, please click on the video link in the upper right-hand corner of this screen. There's two ways to declare and initialize strings in Java, and they affect how the data ends up on the heap. The first and most common way is we say string, name of the variable, then set it equal to a string literal. In this case, we place the reference variable on the stack, and then we place the string in a string pool on the heap. Now, we're going to declare string B and also set equal to coffee, and something interesting happens. Before creating a new object, the Java virtual machine checks and sees there's already an equivalent string on the heap. So what it's going to do is create B and have it point at the same value. Now, there's another way we can declare and initialize strings. We can say string, and the name of the variable, equals new string, and then put the string literal in there. In this case, it's going to create individual objects outside of the string pool on the heap. Now let's look at a couple of Boolean expressions. Here, we start with A == B. So this is going to check, are A and B pointing at the same object? And in this case, they are, because of the way we declared and initialized A and B. So this will evaluate to true. Now, we declared and initialized C a little bit differently. So when we compare A to C, they are pointing at different objects on the heap. So this Boolean expression will evaluate to false. Now let's take a look at what happens when we use the equals method. With strings, the equals method is a deep comparison. So we're going to check, is A and B pointing at equivalent objects? It's the same object, so of course they're equivalent, and this will return true. Now we do A equals C. So we see A and C are pointing at equivalent objects, even though they are in different memory locations, so this will also return true. Finally, let's take a look at how we could actually use some of these comparisons in code. So here, let's assume A and B are primitive type variables. So we want to compare them using double equals and not equals. Here, let's assume that C and D are object type variables where the equals method is a deep comparison. So in that case, we want to compare them using the equals method, like C dot equals D. For E and F, we're assuming that they're arrays. So the proper way to compare them is using Arrays.equals and then our two variables that are pointing at arrays. Some final things to remember. We use the double equals to compare primitive data types. Some object types can be accurately compared using the equals method. You have to know, for that particular object type, is it a shallow comparison or a deep comparison? Other objects may have alternative methods to compare their contents, like arrays use Arrays.equals. For some objects, there may not be an easy way to compare them, and that was just how the programmers designed them. To move on to the next video in this curriculum, please click on the video link in the lower left-hand corner of the screen. To see the entire Java curriculum, please click on the video link in the lower right-hand corner of the screen.